Attack on Titan is a show known for its gruesome deaths. This is a factor that catches many people off guard when entering the show for the first time. Whether it's a titan chopping you in half or getting squashed by a boulder in collateral damage, it really doesn't matter in this show. So we know a lot of people have died, but how many? We'll be answering that question today. And if you're new to the channel, enjoy anime content, or YouTube videos that include rambling, then this is the place for you. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. I wanted to preface this video with a thank you to everyone who subscribed. But for now, enjoy watching the complete death count of Attack on Titan. Before any titans appear or any chaos ensues, the death toll on screen is already going up. Starry-eyed Eren sees the bruised up scouts and realizes how dangerous it really is. He exclaims how over 100 soldiers had left the walls, but less than 20 had come back. So with that, I'd put the death count at anywhere from 85 to 125. With the Colossal Titan kicking in the wall, many people get flattened by stray debris and get eaten by the titans that enter the city. Carla and one of Armin's old bullies both get crushed. Well, Carla gets eaten, but she also gets crushed. So that's a double whammy for her. Those two are among some 10,000 poor civilians that got crushed or crunched in the attack on Shiganshina. Grisha makes a speedy return from the capital with his present for Eren. In the 5 years following, humanity within Wall Maria flees to the inside of Wall Rose. The government issues a massive draft, and it's said that 250,000 people go to war and die. One of these people is Armin's poor grandpa. I wonder where that old hat is. Moving on, the Colossal Titan reappears and does the exact same thing to their wall since it worked so well the first time. But this is nowhere near how it was last time. The humans are actually ready, and rather than losing 10,000 civilians, only 207 soldiers are lost on the battlefield, with 0 civilian casualties. Good job, humanity. Unfortunately, more characters we knew die this time, like Thomas, Franz, and Marco. With Amazon Prime, we see Eren make 3 quick deliveries of his Titan. While he was carrying the boulder, a few unfortunate souls gave their life to see Armin's plan through. It was around 4 guys we saw die on screen, but probably more like 8 or 10. A brief period of peace follows until the female Titan makes her debut. We see 19 people go down by her hand. Petra, the rest of the Levi squad, and various other brave soldiers. When she makes a reappearance in the wall, she kills 9 or 10 people with her initial transformation. As for Eren and Annie's fight's collateral damage, many estimate 100 to 200 people dying, which seems pretty generous. But regardless, we'll just put the number at 200. Earlier in the season, the flashback of Mikasa's family involves her parents' death and the death of the 3 thugs. Season 2 won't be this rich in destruction, which is a good thing. Mike dies to a monkey episode 1, and later the 4 scouts at Utgard Castle die as well. With Sasha's little intro arc, she saves the little girl in exchange for her mother dying. Now we head to Eren being captured. People started dying around the time they got to the giant forest. 10 or more soldiers die on screen when Reiner starts throwing titans, and Hannes-san is unfortunately a part of that statistic. With the introduction to Season 3, we start to see an unfamiliar sight. Humans murdering other humans. The Kenny squad wipes out a few of Levi's comrades, including but not limited to Nifa and Abel. Levi does some damage on their team too, taking out 5 individuals on screen, but he could have killed a few more. Some sources say Mikasa killed 5 as well, but I'm not sure we see her kill on screen. Our boy Pastor Nick is also dead AF. The plot quickly shifts towards Historia in this first half of Season 3. We see flashbacks where Historia's mother gets killed, and Frida Race dies to Grisha in another flashback. Demo Reeves, the guy who put 100 lives in jeopardy Season 1, gets cut by Kenny. In yet another flashback, it's shown that Erwin's father gets silenced by the government. Panning over to the insane sequence underground, the entire Kenny squad goes down, including Kenny, and Rod Race gets cut into 2 by his own daughter. Good job, Historia. I don't think anyone died directly because of Rod, except for the Kenny squad that got crushed. With a Kenny flashback to a decrepit Levi, we see a corpse on the bed. I probably should know who this is. We also see bodies laid out in the street, courtesy of the Ripper. Now we move on to the much anticipated epic battle of Season 3. Reiner catches a body when he hops out of the wall, and with Bertholdt's transformation, his nuke blast probably kills a few people. Moblit sacrifices himself to save Hanji in this instance. I'm not sure how many people Bertholdt killed, but I only saw Moblit die. And with Erwin's epic charge, the 200-some units die, with the exception of Flock. Erwin and the other characters we actually cared about were no more. I definitely miss Erwin a lot. This all ends with a decent attempt at killing Reiner and a flop by Levi. You give us one of the coolest sequences in Attack on Titan, but don't finish the job. Unfortunate. With the next 4 episodes, it's a lot of flashbacks. Grisha's sister bites the dust, or I guess the dust bites her, and Grisha's allies also get cupped. Thankfully, the dude who gets Faye killed also gets himself killed. Then there's also this dude that ends up getting eaten. With Eren Kruger's transformation, he takes no time to murder every Marleyan soldier on the harbor. He explains that Grisha needs to save Mikasa and Armin, then he dies. So far, casualty list isn't that bad. When we get to the other side of the ocean though, things die really fast. We're set on a battlement with Jaw, Cart, and our 4 new protagonist people. It's pretty hard to gauge the numbers here, but we know a lot of soldiers died on the battlefield, and every enemy died except for maybe this guy. The Titan Rain helps murder the enemy, and Zeke makes a crazy throw to kill everyone in those ships off the shore. So I'll say 5,000 people died, even though it could be a lot less or a lot more. I'd like your opinions on what this number should be. Eren's attack on Marley easily hypes up this death toll. He comes out swinging, killing Willy and many others by the debris from the house he destroyed. He also flattens a bunch of military personnel whilst they were sitting on the bleachers. Peak and her shooters kill some of our scout friends, and our scout friends kill Peak's shooters. With all this destruction, Armin nukes the harbor, accounting for a lot more deaths there. We think Armin killed 10,000 people with his blast. Not sure if that's too many, but it seems legit. As for every other death, we think it was around 10 to 20,000 casualties. So we're putting the death toll for this entire sequence to 25,000 people. On the way out, Gabby gets Sasha pretty good, and she dies. Fast forwarding, Premier Zachary gets annihilated by a terrorist bomb, and we see his top half separate from his legs. Then many of Levi's comrades turn to Titans, although I don't count this as deaths. I'm trying to stick to people dying as humans only. But if we would count it, I think it adds like 30 people. Then in a flashback, we see the previous Beast Titan's wife and child dead on the floor. For our final episode, Peak walks in and wrecks the dude while pointing a gun at Eren. So that is the complete death toll for the anime thus far. I'm going to continue on towards any death in the manga, so for anime only watchers, thanks for watching. I do appreciate you coming around, and remember to comment and subscribe. For those sticking around, yo, it's manga time. This is where it gets real bad. Right off the bat, everyone that drank Zeke's special syrup gets turned into a Titan, including Pixis. Rest in peace. If any of these Titans survived the rumbling, then they were promptly transformed back into humans. Not sure if any lived though. We see Ymir's whole backstory, and there is a lot of death here. We see her as the founder wiping out all Carl's foes, which is a hard number to guesstimate, but I might just add 1 million to the counter. I don't know anymore. I'm assuming she did some mad damage in those 13 years. Then she dies. The rumbling ensues, and with each step, 1% of humanity dies. It's equal to about 80%, and if I were to go off of Earth's population, that number would equate to roughly 6,080,000,000. So the numbers are absolutely out of control now. Hanji dies aboard the SS Freak Show, and Zeke gets murked by a confused Levi. Finally, Mikasa makes out with a head, then murders it. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything here, but I'm pretty sure those 3 are the only ones that died that we care about. And after much calculating, research, watching, studying, and grinding, we come out to a total number of 6,081,291,212 casualties in Attack on Titan. Of course, I'm not counting any lore that might have been said along the lines of Titans have killed the population 3 times over. This is the absolute raw number of deaths seen in the show. This was an interesting but hard thing to research, write, and add up, but I hope you enjoyed it. I also hope the numbers didn't bore you to death. It really is insane how many people died in this show. I initially didn't expect this, but when you add the rumbling, it adds a lot. Anyways, thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed this video.